Here. Here. Here.
Here.
Here.
Here.
Here. They're on.
I don't see any public, but I will make the announcement that for those who wish to speak on agenda or non-agenda items, please use the sign-up sheet near the entrance door to the council chambers. You will be called to speak during the public comment section. Comments or testimony on agenda items listed under public hearing, public comment will be taken at that time. And next item on the agenda is comments from citizens present. This is an opportunity for members of the audience to bring to the agency's attention any item not listed on the agenda. Comments will be limited to 5 minutes per citizen, and the city recorder will use the light system. Speakers may not yield their time to others. As a general rule, this is not a time for exchange of questions. However, at the conclusion of this agenda item, agency members can discuss or raise questions regarding an item presented by a citizen. The chair has the authority to reduce the time allowed for comment in accordance with the number of persons present and signed up to speak. And is there anyone signed up to speak? I don't think so. Thank you. We have a proposed change to the agenda to add a second resolution, I believe. The resolution for the Ridge Apartment property tax exemption. Do I have a motion to add that item to the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to add a resolution. Would it be UR 2016-03?
So you need a new motion?
You need to withdraw it, don't you?
I withdraw my second.
I'll withdraw my motion.
So the motion's been withdrawn. Thank you. Minutes of the meetings will be available next meeting.
Do we need a motion to move it to the next meeting, since it's been brought up once? Oh, okay. Then I won't worry about it.
Special order of business presentations. Number one, authorization to negotiate and acquire real property. This was a piece of property that was offered to the city by, right, yes, thank you.
Authorization to
Precedent was already negotiated. Okay, we weren't aware of that. Okay, I'll change the motion that we authorize the city manager and the city
title and execute all necessary documents on behalf of the Urban Renewal Agency. Roll call, please.
Discussion, please, Madam Chair. Mr. Apicello, is there no way we can share with the public any information regarding this action?
Well, generally, we try not to disclose too much about real property negotiations, but essentially there's a piece of property that the owners contacted or discussed with URA purchasing it, and turns out there are more owners. So that's the reason why we need authorization to negotiate.
Thank you.
Mr. Sprague, did my restatement go along with your motion?
Yes.
Okay. So, any other comments, agency members? Roll call, please.
Ryan?
Yes.
Sprague?
Yes.
Walke?
Yes.
Ward?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
And Norikis?
Yes.
Motion carries.
The next item on the agenda is City Manager Report, Urban Renewal Loan Process.
Madam Chair, this is just informational only. At our last Urban Renewal Agency meeting, we had some discussion about the process we go through to grant the loans or to approve the loans. And there was really questions about what information we can give and what we can't give as far as like names and so forth. So I thought I'd just take a minute or two and to outline the process that we go through. When an application is received, the staff will receive the information first, and they will review it for the compliance to the Urban Renewal Agency's criteria. It's not a financial review, it's to make sure it meets the criteria established for granting these loans to meet the purposes of the Urban Renewal Agency. From there, it is turned over to a bank review where it goes through the same process as any other loan. It goes through where they are going to assess the financial information to determine the creditworthiness, basically, of the applicant. Now, some years back, the city made a decision that we would contract that service out, and so we went through a bidding process and selected a bank, and it's the Bank of the West, and they contract with Centiem Escrow to do that service. They review it just the same as they would for any other commercial loan that comes through. When they finish their review, then they submit that information back to the staff, and then the staff presents it to the Urban Renewal Agency for approval. There's a couple of reasons why we keep the names from being given to you when you approve that. The first is to meet the requirements of the public records access, and this information, the way it's presented to you, is a protected information. Specifically, that it does not, we do not give out information about people's financial about their finances, and the way it's presented to you, if we gave you the name, it would violate that law. The second is actually to avoid the appearance of any kind of bias on the count of the Urban Renewal Agency, of either towards any kind of retribution or any kind of favoritism for the applicants, so that the information is being considered through the first, that it meets our requirements, second, that it meets the bank requirements, and then third, it's approved by the Urban Renewal Agency. I missed one step. Before the staff gives it to the agency, it goes through a subcommittee of 3 of the board members that review it, and then they make their recommendation. But those are the 2 reasons why we do not give out the names of the applicants, even to you as the Urban Renewal Agency Board.
Thank you, Mr. Chandler. Does anyone have questions?
Thank you, Mr. Chandler, for that clarification. The agency has been accused of wearing some kind of cloak of secrecy, and I'm glad that you are able to inform the public that we are not acting in secret and that we are, in fact, following the law.
We are.
Thank you for that.
Next item on the agenda is Resolution UR 2016-02.
This is me again. This is a follow-up to your previous meeting. If you recall, when the audit was presented, there was one area of concern that the auditors mentioned, and that was we had difficulties in obtaining information from the county as it pertained to property taxes and property tax receivables. We received multiple different worksheets from them. We had a tough time calculating those, and in the end, it overstated our revenues and our property tax receivables. So that was an area of concern. This resolution deals with that. Specifically, it states when there are discrepancies in the property tax reports provided by the county for audit purposes, the Finance Department shall work more closely with the county to ensure its entries for the property tax receivables are accurate.
Madam Chair?
Yes, Mr. Sprague?
Mr. Chandler, the problem wasn't the city's problem, but it was the county's problem?
Yes. And it may have been as I understand, there was a software change that they went through, and so we would get these reports to us that would have the information. There wasn't, as it was explained to me by the auditors, there was inconsistencies, and as we tried to put it together, it ended up overstating these accounts receivables. And so next year, hopefully, this problem goes away. If it doesn't, we'll work more closely so that when we prepare the financial statements, we will have that resolved before the auditor begins looking at it.
Is there anything we can do to put pressure on the county to make sure they resolve that?
No, I think we just work with them, and it will be okay.
All right, thank you.
So we need a reading of the resolution by title only.
Madam Chair, I'd make a motion to approve Resolution UR 2016-02.
The second motion?
We have a motion and a second to approve Resolution UR 2016-02. Do we need a reading of? Okay. Discussion. Any discussion? All right. Roll call, please.
Alke,
Yes.
Ward,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Norikis,
Yes.
Ryan,
Yes.
and Sprague.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Madam Chair, before we leave that, Mr. Chandler, could you explain to us and perhaps the public, the need for this resolution? It seems so obvious that, if we're not getting, as a finance, the city, not getting consistent and correct information, that we'd automatically work with whoever's providing. Is it because the audit is so noted that we have to make some response to the audit?
It is. Part of what
Okay.
the audit does is that it looks at our internal control procedures to look for any material deficiencies in being able to collect and adequately process the financial information. If it finds something in there, then it addresses it in a management letter to in this case, the Urban Renewal Agency, and we are required to give a response on how we will correct that. And actually, you, as the stewards of the Urban Renewal Agency, are required for that response, and that's why it's in a resolution form.
Thank you.
Madam Chair,
Yes, Mr. Norikis?
while we have a copy of the resolution before us, I'd like to share the title with the public, if I may.
Thank you.
This is resolution number UR 2016-02, a resolution setting forth corrective measures for deficiencies identified in the Urban Renewal Agency of the City of Lincoln City, Oregon's 2014-15 Annual Financial Report. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Any comments by agency members? I had a question. In the city council packet, there's a resolution 2016-04. that appears to be an urban renewal resolution. Is that just an incorrect signature block? Or is it something that we need to address during this meeting?
Let's see which resolution it is.
Oh, number 6, Mr. Chandler. J6.
I believe
We
it's
also
signature.
have two, let me pull that up real quick. We also have two, it's the same resolution, but for the city and not the Urban Renewal Agency, where we have two corrective measures we need to take, and
Right.
It says adopted by the city council, but it has
it has the wrong signature block on that.
All right.
Yeah, the resolution is correct, the signature block isn't correct.
So we don't have to worry about it during the urban renewal agency?
No.
All right, thank you. Okay, any further comments from anyone? Meeting's adjourned. Oh, sorry. Did you have something to say? Oh, okay.